right, we're set to go. It'll be Lenny Elmore going into jump against the big guy, Artis Gilmore. Of course, Lenny standing all of 6'9.5", and the big giant about 7'2". That is without the afro, which puts him to about 7'6". Oh, when he was first signed by Mike Storin, he came down here out of college, and he had an afro that had to be 4 inches taller than that thing. It was unbelievable. That is John Vanek, the man in the middle. And the opening tap is controlled by Kentucky. Jack Madden is the other referee working with him tonight. Louis gets inside in a hurry and gets the jumper away and scores. Took them all to 6 seconds to get the first 2 points on the boards tonight. The Pacer Ball Club was not particularly uptight in the dressing room before the game. Here is Joyce driving. Here's a foul being called by Vanek. Now, Jack Madden right on top of the play did not call a foul. Vanek under the basket did, and it's on McGinnis.
It's on George. They called him for a moving pick.
Jack Madden wasn't more than 5 feet away from that call, and you can see an unhappy Bobby Leonard. He is really upset about that. It's a foul on Big Mac. That is number 1. It's an offensive foul, so there's no team foul involved. Kentucky's got it again to the big guy. You'll watch him double team. Knocked away, but picked up by Wilbur Jones. Jones firing and missing, and Hillman's got the board. McGinnis will bring it across the line in a hurry around Jones. Shot short, foul anyway. And I believe Will Jones got him, and he did. And Will Jones has had his foul problems in this playoff series.
Yes, you're going to see George showing no problems at all with that ankle. He's moving quite well. Goes up for the shot, and Jones does get him.
Louis Dampier and Darnell Hillman conversing. Out back now, just friendly conversation while George McGinnis goes to the free throw line, a 72% shooter from there.
Jerry, with the lineup that we have installed, it's back to that basic, anybody can take the shot offense, and it's geared to anybody open. Billy Knight can handle the ball, although against Ted McLean, he's going to have his problems because McLean is an excellent defensive player.
Yeah, that is McLean with the basketball, now shuffling off to Dampier. Jones got around McGinnis, going in and tried to stop it and missed it. Rebound picked up by Gilmore in the baseline. Dampier stolen by Billy Knight. Knight spinning into the lane. Is it taken back away? Ted McLean does the reverse honors. Gilmore bobbled it, turns around and shoots and scores. And you can see Bobby Leonard. He is just irate again. They thought that Gilmore had bobbled it and got caught with a walking violation, but nobody caught him. 4-1 your score. Colonel's up by 3. Hillman knocked away. Will get a reaching in foul this time. Foul is going to be on McLean, and here comes John Vanek now down to Bobby Leonard. He's coming all the way down here to talk to Bobby Leonard. And they've got conversation going nose to nose. You can see him right there. McLean gets the personal foul.
Well, Bobby's upset about that last offensive play that Kentucky ran, felt it should have been a traveling on Artis.
Pacers basketball to McGinnis inside. He got Jones up, and what do we got here? The foul is on Jones, and will there be a goaltending call? I don't believe so. Now here is John Vanek again warning Bobby Leonard. Let's check it again. We'll see what you think.
Yes, there goes George up for the shot. Now watch Artis. You decide. Does he get it on the way up, or is it on the way down? Looked to me like it was going up.
Well, I think John was going to call the foul ahead of time. Let's see what they're going to give him. 1 shot or 2. He'll get the 2 shots.
He's got to have 2 at that point of the game. There's no bonus or anything.
Yeah, but I don't know how you wipe the goaltending out.
Well, yeah, that is absolutely right. And of course, the officiating, we don't want to get into that big controversy, but it has been controversial to say the least.
Big Mac gets them both. Indy's all 3 of Indiana points added to his column. It's a 4-3 ball game, and it is a warm, warm Freedom Hall tonight. Dampier given room, fires outside and misses. The ball batted in the air, and McGinnis is going up to get it. Watch Big George's ankle. It's the left one. It doesn't seem to be bothering him tonight. Here is Billy Knight. Missing. Rebound, the big fella. Gilmore is devastating on the defensive boards. Jones threw it away. Last touch, though, by one of the Pacers inside, they say.
George reached around him, and he had been beaten on the baseline, but knocked it out from behind.
Less than 2 minutes gone in the ball game, and it's 4-3. Kentucky has the lead. And you can almost feel the intensity of this game. Gilmore reverse dunk. The big guy has 2 field goals. His average is 23-6 per game. His best game this year was 37. An excellent shooter. Shot 58%. McGinnis has got the three in the sky and got nothing but net. Big George has picked up all 6 of the Indiana points, and you can see we're locked up for the first time in the ball game. Pacers have yet to lead. They have been behind by 3. Into Issel, working on Hillman for the jumper and scoring. Issel has played exceptionally well against Indiana in the playoffs to this point. McGinnis working on Will Jones. Threw it away, but can Knight catch it? He finally does. Now thought that he turned it over.
Not a bad thought.
Kevin Joyce, basically the singular guard in this game, though Billy Knight has that position attached to his name. Joyce firing, missing. Rebound tapped to free. Finally picked up by Will Jones for Kentucky. That's stolen by Knight and out of bounds to Indiana. Great play by Billy Knight. He picked the ball off in the air, threw it back into bounds, and caught Will Jones on the side of the head. And a timeout call by Indiana with a score. The Colonels 8, the Pacers 6, and 9:07 to go in the first period. We'll be back at Freedom Hall in just a minute. Mike, can we have any more headset out here? Me. Program. Yeah. Yeah, let me have number 2, Mike, number 2. Oh. Yeah, that's a little better. Yeah, I can turn it down out here. Yeah. What tag do you want, Mike? AMC? AMC brings you a new meaning to economy. Economy coupled with style, comfort, and handling. Well, the playoff scoring, as far as the Indiana Pacers are concerned, Big George McGinnis, as he has all year long, leads the scoring attack with a 26.5 point per game scoring average. Billy Knight right behind him, though, with 18.5. Kevin Joyce, 14.5, and Darnell Hillman at 11.5. So not much has changed scoring-wise once we get into the playoffs as far as the Kentucky Colonels are concerned. Big George, a couple of points shy of his seasonal norm. Activity back in. The Pacers down by a couple with about 3 minutes gone in the first period. McGinnis trying to tie it up. Missed it. Rebound Issel. Wilbur Jones. Shot short. Foul. Basket is missed. Hillman gets the foul.
That was a good move by Lenny Elmore to come around and block that ball. You're going to see Lenny just make a super effort. There you see he's up high, blocks it, and then Darnell, when Jones gets the rebound, gives him a push.
Darnell would have been all right if he could have come down and avoid standing on the back of Jones. Look at where Wilbur takes the free throw shots, way down to the right side of the lane.
Suppose he knows something nobody else knows?
You don't see very many guys that do that. It becomes almost a mental hang-up. Once they decide they can hit from there, they feel like they've got to shoot from there. 10-6 score. Colonels have their biggest lead of the night, 4 points. Indiana looking for its first opportunity to lead in the ball game. Down to the 8:40 mark in the period. Knight blocked away and picked up by Artis Gilmore. That is Ted McLean who made that fine defensive move. This is Issel shooting. Hillman's got the board finally. In heavy traffic, the netting getting tangled up. They'll get that done. Kevin Joyce with the fist play, looking to the left side and angling right. And nodding acknowledgement to the Pacer bench. He says he knows what he wants to do. Double stack low left side. Now they come out to Hillman. McGinnis has a little room, pulls up and shoots on Wilbur Jones and misses everything by 1.5 miles. And Indiana's not getting any second opportunities. Jones misses. Hillman rebounds. On it comes to Knight. A 1-on-2 break. Knight shoots on Gilmore and scores. Billy Knight becomes the first Pacer other than McGinnis to score in the ball game. So we went about in a little over 4 minutes without anybody scoring but Big Mac. 10-8 to score. Kentucky a couple in front. Gilmore can really set a screen, can he? McLean slides down the lane. It should be an offensive foul on him, and it is.
Sure will be. That's an interesting play that McLean is trying to run on Billy Knight, thinking that he, of course, has more speed than Billy. He tried to give him a little move and drive to the basket. And our big men did the things that they're supposed to do, cover up that middle.
Trouble with trying to drive around a screen, the likes of which Gilmore says, is it takes you about 5 extra seconds to get around that guy. This is Joyce tying it up. KJ getting his first of the night. We are locked up at 10, 7.5 minutes to go, as you can see on the scoreboard. Dampier, been in the league since its inception. He was the first, one of the original Kentucky Colonels. Shot blocked, but a foul. No, goaltending. Give the basket to Gilmore. Artis getting his third of the night.
Yes, Darnell came over to help Lenny out, as you're going to see here, and he did goaltend. Lenny overplayed him, and Darnell did what he was supposed to do. You have to have help with someone like that.
I don't know what else you can do except get up there and try to knock him away. McGinnis penetrates and gives off now to Elmore in the baseline area, missing badly again. McGinnis makes the save and finally comes up with the basketball, goes for the shot, and is fouled in the process.
That was just all hustle by George there. You're going to see this. Now the ball is loose, and they keep knocking around, he and Dan Issel, and now he is absolutely clobbered.
Louis gets the foul. Dampier getting number 1, and Big Mac goes back to the line. 3 out of 4. He has 6 points. 6 of the 10 we have showing right now. Free throw shooting has been one of the Pacers' nemesis throughout the playoffs. When we were good, we were very good. When we were bad, we were terrible. And it's not starting off particularly well tonight. That one won't go either. So George is 3 out of 6 from the line. 12 to 10, Kentucky by a pair with 6 minutes and 50 seconds of playing time at period number 1. Slow moving first quarter. Neither club able to get it in gear. Elmore moves out to Jones. McLean back to Wilbur Jones, about 18 feet short. Ball going out of bounds to Indiana. And McGinnis and Gilmore have a little wrestling match, as you can see, going for the ball.
Yes, George just screened him out beautifully on that.
And again, if you just joined us, change in the Pacer lineup at the starting guard slot tonight. Billy Keller played so well the other night, but tonight it is Billy Knight getting a call at guard, although basically he's still going to be a forward. Here is Elmore shooting over Issel and missing. And the rebound comes up on the other side. Tonight, a little 5-footer is up. He missed it again. There's a 2-on-1 break. This is Issel down the lane, and he stuck it. Issel running right over Kevin Joyce. No foul call. Ball goes over to Indiana, and the Pacers down again by 4 points at 14 to 10. Knight inside. Good play.
Oh, it was a beautiful play, and this you can do when you're 6'6 and a half, and the man guarding you is about 6'3. He really took him inside well there.
They're just now warning Billy Knight for touching the ball as it came through the basket. That's become a regular gamely occurrence with the Indiana Pacers. You're not supposed to touch it. Once it goes through the hoop, that's it. Forget about it. And we have gotten into a habit of kind of grabbing it and putting it down. Not really intentionally, I don't believe. Just kind of become a habit. Jones, given room, won't take it. Back to Gilmore. And out to McLean. Missing. Rebounded by Issel in the lane. About a 10-footer is good. Third field goal for Issel. And ball tapped out of bounds up court. It'll belong to Indiana.
That was a lucky break.
5:39 to go. First quarter of activity. It's 16 to 12. Kentucky's got a 4-point lead. And McLean comes out of the lineup, and Bird Averett comes in. You'll see a lot of changes in this Kentucky Colonel outfit tonight because Hubie can go to the bench with those guards, and he doesn't seem to lose a thing when Averett comes in there.
That's quite a matchup, too, with Bird against Billy Knight.
Elmore, top of the circle, got it. Lenny Elmore picking up his first hoop of the game. The Pacers pull back to within a pair at 16 to 14. Watch the quickness of this Kentucky Colonel guard contingent. Dampier, Averett, and McLean. And there's a good sign of it right there. Averett throws it up and misses, but he got around his man beautifully. McGinnis on the behind the back. They have Knight on the right side. McGinnis goes to him, and it's too late. Boy, he had him all alone and couldn't get it there. Dampier over Kevin Joyce scored. Well, quickly back up. Knight will fire. He will score, and the foul is called against Kentucky, and it may be on Dampier, and it is. Number 2 on Louis.
That was an excellent pass. Now you see Billy getting the ball from George. He'll go up. You see that Dampier does make contact, and thankfully the ball goes in for us.
Third field goal for the rookie out of Pittsburgh. Have a dozen points. He'll be at the line with 2 to make 1 because Indiana's in the bonus already. The Pacers, on the other hand, have committed only 1 foul in the first 7 minutes of the ball game. Well, 1 foul that counted as a team foul, I should say. And Knight gets the free throw.
Yes, George had that moving pick that obviously does not count in your team total.
And the other one, of course, was against Hillman on that coming down in the back of Dan Issel. Averett, that's Jones. Way short, back to Gilmore, throws it up and misses. Rebound again. Issel's got it, puts it back up and missed it again. Tapped up and in by Gilmore. Fourth field goal for the Big A, and it's 20-17 Kentucky.
The Indiana bench just erupted there. Lenny Elmore was sitting down and obviously wasn't that tired. He was shoved down, and they just kept batting the ball around.
That's Knight from outside. Missing, rebound, fought for, pulled off by Billy, and a whistle and a foul on Billy Knight. And on Billy, that's number 1. A loose ball foul. Nope, they say Kentucky had the ball on the rebound, so it does go up against our club total. 4:18 to go. First quarter of play from Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. Issel comes out of the middle area, missing. Rebound to Bird Averett. He wants the 15-footer, now takes it and misses. Rebound picked off Issel, stripped away by Knight, and picked up by McGinnis. 3-on-2, Hillman goes in for the slam dunk, and oh, did he get clobbered. Gilmore hips him up, but boy, he put him down.
You're going to take a look at this. Now watch Mr. Hillman meet Mr. Gilmore, all 7'3", 4", whatever. Ask Darnell how big Mr. Gilmore is.
Hillman will get at the free throw line, and the big dunker, a 75% shooter from up there. He has yet to score in tonight's ball game. Darnell Hillman, 6'9", San Jose State. First one finally falls. The good old-time flavor of Pabst Blue Ribbon never misses a shot. Pabst quality always comes through. Hillman looking for number 2. And they miss it. But the bonus will give him one more try. Tell you, there's one big advantage to getting into that bonus situation early. And that's the advantage right there. It gives you a chance to put the pressure on the other team with that extra added shot, and this time it pays off. You can see Indiana's committed only 2 team fouls. We're down to the 4-minute mark of the first period. It's a 20-19 ball game. The Colonels have been in the lead since the outset. They've had that lead as big as 4. Issel working around Hillman. Underhand shot. Goaltending again on Lenny Elmore. Issel's 4th field goal. Look at this.
Now watch, he's going to get around Darnell. George comes over, he gets around George, and there they called Lenny for goaltending.
Tell you, it's not too hard to figure out who the best officials in this league are. We're going to get John Banny's going to have to take out Indiana and Kentucky papers as many times as we've seen him of late. McGinnis missing. Rebound Elmore. Lenny faking. Back up. Blocked away. And we got a foul on Gilmore again. And that looked like a pretty good block from here, but we're a long way away.
Well, let's take a look at it. Now, there goes Lenny up a ton to get that ball. He's not intimidated. Gives a few fakes. Well, maybe he got him on the hand. You know, your perspective is a little bit different from where we're sitting than when the official made the call.
Good shot of Hubie Brown, first-year coach of the Kentucky Colonels. He spent last year with that Milwaukee Bucks outfit. Larry Costello's assistant coach up there. Quite a guy. Very outspoken, says what he thinks, and obviously he's a pretty darn good coach. He's got this ball club into the finals and appears to have him rolling.
You know, and he thinks very well, too. He's an extremely intelligent, articulate young man.
Lenny Elmore will get a pair. Well, we just having some difficult moments at the free throw line tonight. George McGinnis toweling off and getting some of the perspiration up off the floor. 3:34 to go on the period in a 22-19 ball game. Kentucky in the lead.
We could use a towel sitting over here. It is really warm in this stadium.
Steaming down here. The temperature we pulled into town was right at 92 degrees.
Is that how hot it was? I was in the pool. I wouldn't know.
It was warm down here. Second shot good by Lenny, getting his 3rd point of the night. And again, that bonus comes into play. So the Pacers pull back to within 1 with 3.5 minutes to go in the first period. 22-21. Kentucky's been able to come down each time and keep that lead stretched out. Jones with room. There it is again. Wilbert Jones with a 12.5 point per game scoring average, playing well in the playoffs as his first field goal. He has 4 points total in tonight's encounter. Kevin Joyce, ball above the head, looking for the Pacer offense to start to make its move. Knocked away, but he got it again to McGinnis. We're just not going anywhere. Now they've got it inside, and a terrible pass by McGinnis.
They telegraphed it.
3-point lead. Jones trying to make it 5. Almost walked and decided to give it back out to Averett. Swings into the lane, blocked away. Hillman may have gotten him, though.
That last offensive series down for the Pacers. You're going to, well, here, let's take a look at that last play against the foul here on Darnell. You can see Bird Averett drives, and he picks up the foul by Hillman.
Number 2 on Dr. Dunk. Timeout called by Kentucky with 2:49 to go in the first period. Colonels 24, Pacers 21. We'll be right back after this timeout. Yeah, let me have the number 3 of the Kentucky scoring this time, if I could, Mike.
I can't hear you. I still didn't hear you, Mike. I got you.
Good shot. As you grab some of the between periods and between timeouts festivities, a look at the Kentucky playoff scoring would find the big fella, Artis Gilmore, with a 24.3 scoring average, leading the way. That is a little better than his seasonal average. Issel with a 23 per game, 15.5 for Roberts, who's played very well. We haven't seen him yet tonight. And Louis Dampier at 14.5 per ball game.
There was that last play that we were talking about where the Pacers did absolutely nothing, and George trying to force that pass through the middle. Of course, you just can't do that when you've got arms. I don't know. How long do you think Mr. Artis Gilmore's wingspan really is?
Well, his shoes are size 17, so you can build up from there. Interesting thing about this, though, we get a tight shot of it. Take a good look. Gilmore's waist is 32 inches. Even a skinny guy like me has got a bigger waist than that, so he's not particularly big in upper chest area, but his shoes are 17. His official height is listed as 7'2". Averett hits and misses, and Indiana gets the board, but it's taken away by McLean and knocked out of bounds. Bird Averett, 6'2" out of Pepperdine, second year in the ABA, first with Kentucky. Last year was with that San Antonio Spurs outfit. Colonels back to that 4-point lead. That's the biggest they've been able to stretch it so far. Heading toward the 2.5-minute mark. McGinnis being guarded by Gilmore. Joyce has the 3 in the sky, and it's good. Kevin Joyce on the year shot right at 19% from the 3-point area, so he's not the guy you want taking those home run shots, but that time it was left available to him, and he got it, his 5th point of the game. Indiana back to within 1, 25-24. They give McLean all kinds of room out front, and he rips it right back. Kentucky has shot well in this playoff series against Indiana. Over the season, they were 3rd in the ABA in 2-point field goal shooting, 48.4. Indiana 6th with an even 48. Joyce again, good again.
That's an excellent move by Kevin. He just simply drove around his man.
You can see Indiana pulls back to within 1, but every time we get here and have a chance to get it back and go the other way and grab the lead, Kentucky retaliates with a good basket. They've got a change in the lineup. That is Thomas that had the ball. Back out to Wilbert Jones. This time they missed, but they get the rebound taken away and picked up by McGinnis. Now Indiana's got a chance to grab the lead for the first time tonight with 1 minute and 28 seconds to go in the first period. 27-26 score. Here is Knight being bumped by Ron Thomas. Gives it back out to Hillman. Darnell will shoot from the top of the circle and miss, and the rebound picked up with the big A.
He has a ton of rebounds so far in this first quarter.
Well, you just hope that a guy like Gilmore won't decide, yeah, I'm going to play tonight. Rebound in the air, saved by Wilbert Jones, thrown back in and out of bounds. No, save, but now it's out of bounds, they say. Another change in the Kentucky lineup. Dan Issel coming into the ball game. And Gilmore will go out. Artis leaving with 8 points and 2 fouls. Issel back in the lineup with 8 points. Now Issel will go in the middle. Dan, by the way, is the only guy in the ABA to have won All-Star honors at 2 different positions. He won it at center in his rookie year, and then on out to the forward position when Gilmore came along. That's Elmore hitting. Lenny's second field goal, 6 points. We got a lead for the first time tonight.
Lenny starts popping those, and that's really going to open things up.
40 seconds to go. First period play. Indiana staying right with Kentucky in this all-important 5th game of the ABA Championship Series. Ron Thomas, baseline, Averett firing and scoring. The Bird Averett getting his first of the night. First field goal, that is, 3rd point of the evening. You can see Bobby Leonard to the upper part of your screen talking to Kevin Joyce. He's the point guard. Basically, it's a 1-4 offense. Joyce is the only honest-to-goodness legitimate guard in the lineup. They started Billy Knight at guard. Knight gets clobbered by Thomas going to the hoop.
That's exactly the play that Bobby wanted them to run. He wants Billy to cut through there. Using his height, he's able, if George can get him the pass, he's able to work in low.
Ron Thomas in the lineup for Kentucky is 6'6" out of the University of Louisville in his third year. Here comes a change in the Pacer lineup. He'll be walking to your screen in just a second. There he is, Roger Brown. 6'5", University of Dayton in his 8th year in the ABA, an original Indiana Pacer. As a matter of fact, the first Pacer ever signed. And Knight at the line with a pair. Billy with 7 points. Pacer free throw shooting is just
not there.
Not what it ought to be tonight. Second one is good. Billy is 2 out of 3. Hillman's 2 out of 3. McGinnis 3 out of 6, and Elmore is 2 out of 3. 6 seconds, 5, outside shot, Averett, no good. Hillman's got the board, 2 seconds, 1, that's going to be it, and that is it. At the end of 1, we've got ourselves a beauty in Louisville, Kentucky. We're locked up at 29, and second period action is coming up. Indianapolis Morris Plan, the savings team with a big interest, invites you to visit any of their 11 citywide locations. Morris Plan, where you earn a higher interest.
Shooting statistics for that first quarter, 9 of 19 for the Pacers for 47.4%. Kentucky shooting 13 of 31 for 41.9%. They pulled down a total of 17 rebounds to our 13, and I have unofficially Artis Gilmore with 9. We have turned the ball over 5 times to their 4. So therein lies, well, the battle of statistics. I suppose we're still behind on that rebounding. Inserting Billy Knight in there did make it a little bit more equal. At one point earlier in the series, they were killing us on the boards.
The individual scoring leaders in the first period of play for Kentucky was Dan Issel and Artis Gilmore, each with 8. Nobody else even close. For Indiana, likewise 8 points. Billy Knight had those. We also had 7 points from Kevin Joyce, 6 each out of George McGinnis and Lenny Elmore. And the other 2 belonged to Darnell Hillman. 2 3-point field goals in the first period. Big Mac had 1 and KJ had the other. So we'll see if Bobby Leonard and Hubie Brown want to make any changes. It'll still be Darnell Hillman in the middle for Indiana. George McGinnis on one side. Roger Brown will be either at forward or at guard. He'll basically be in the same kind of a category as Billy Knight, the swing man. McGinnis, Hillman, Brown, Knight, Joyce. That's McGinnis missing. Rebound tapped in the sky and pulled off by Dan Issel. Indiana right now is not a particularly tall ball club. There's Kentucky with that giant, and there's always going to have a height advantage. They've got to change also in their lineup. Marv Roberts, 6'8" from Utah State in his 4th year, has come in to play against us, and he's played very well in this playoff series. Locked up at 29. Marv Roberts trying to untie it, and he missed it this time. McGinnis has got the rebound. So maybe that is a sign of things to come also, because Roberts has played exceptionally well against us in this playoff series. Knight, or KJ getting inside, and Dampier got a piece of the ball, and KJ's unhappy with himself. And Kevin Joyce picks up one of those frustrating fouls.
Yeah, sometimes when you get burned on one end, you come down and out of pure frustration, you commit a kind of one of those silly little nonsensical fouls.
KJ thought he should have had the foul the other way at the other end and thought he would retaliate. When he did, he got caught by John Bannock, the out official. They've got it inside to Averett. He may have walked, but he didn't. Now Gilmore gets the foul, and that'll be 3 on the big fella. Gilmore cracked the boards hard and picked up what I have as number 3. Let's check the board. That's exactly what it is. 3rd on Gilmore. But I can recall very well that first game down here when we had Gilmore on the bench with 6 personal fouls, and Hubie Brown sent the shock troops in, and they just blitzed us.
Yes, and Dan Issel also had 6 fouls in that game, so they both went in and played with those 6 fouls, never picking up the 7th, interestingly enough.
You'll discover Lenny Elmore at the high post at the top of the free throw circle. He is back in the lineup. Billy Keller getting set to come into the ball game momentarily also. Darnell Hillman is out. Here is the give across to Elmore in the left wing. It's off the mark. The rebound is picked off inside by Kentucky. Finally out of there with it is Ted McLean. All the way down the lane. Oh, runs right over Joyce, and KJ took it right in the chest. McLean getting number 3. Look at this again.
Now, he's having a little trouble controlling the ball, and watch Kevin plant himself. Oh, cremation, crunch. You can just feel that one in your family rooms.
KJ is now limping off the court. Billy Keller coming in for him. That was planned prior to KJ's show of utter bravery there. Davy Craig hunched over him to see if he's all right. I think it kind of knocked the wind out of him. He is down to our left down here grabbing some water or whatever. And he'll be back in momentarily, I would assume. A minute and a half gone in this second period. Keller had an excellent ball game last Monday night. Brown to Elmore. It's McGinnis. Double pumping and firing on Issel and scoring. For McGinnis, his 8th point of the game. It's only his second field goal. The first one was a three-pointer, do nothing else from outside in the first quarter of play. Keller the other night had 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Indiana's got a 2-point lead. That's the biggest they've enjoyed. It's 31-29. Roberts, short, rebound, knocked away. The race is on, and Gilmore wins it. Back out to McLean, down the alley, throws it up, an air ball, picked off inside by nobody. Finally, McGinnis comes out of the traffic with it. Indiana on the move, and a bad pass by McGinnis, trying to leave it back outside, and it's off the leg of Kentucky.
Yes, George got himself very far underneath the basket then, and when he threw it back out, we were lucky enough, although the fans don't agree, but a Kentucky player touched it last.
Now Darnell Hillman comes back into the Pacer lineup. He'll give Big George McGinnis a rest period. Mack leaves the ball game with 8 points, 1 foul.
And about 4 rebounds and 2 assists.
George having a little bit of trouble getting it going. He is not limping, at least noticeably, and I was in the dressing room prior to the game talking with trainer David Craig, and they were wrapping up that ankle good and tight, but apparently not so much more so than normal. That is Hubie Brown with a bit of a discussion with the official Jack Madden. Hubie unhappy about that out-of-bounds call. Thought it should have gone to Kentucky. Hillman turning around on Issel, firing way off the mark as Dan got a piece of the ball. 31-29. Kentucky down by a pair. That's the biggest deficit they've had to incur, and the ball is out of bounds, and nobody touched it, so McLean putting the ball down to Issel, and Dan trying to back away, turns the ball back over to Indiana. Keller looking inside, but nobody's there, so Billy will feed to Roger Brown, who can pump it outside, but changes his mind. Gets inside and throws it up and scores.
That was a desperation shot, and it's a shot that Rogers made for so many years. Beautiful to watch.
4-point lead Indiana. That's the biggest margin. In fact, that equals Kentucky's 4-point lead. Inside, foul being called as Hillman tries to go play defense against Issel. It is on Dr. Duncan on Hillman. That's number 3. That's a good tight shot of Dan Issel, trying to catch a little extra breath. George McGinnis coming back into the Pacer lineup. Hillman coming out of there. Bobby Leonard can ill afford to have any of those big guys in trouble foul-wise this early in the game. So McGinnis, with only 1 foul, comes back in to replace him. McLean and Dampier are the guards. This is McLean from the near side, scoring. For Ted McLean, his first 2 points of the game in this period. He has his 4th point of the night.
Now, Billy Knight's going to have to play him much more tightly because he is a good outside shooter.
Keller turns down the screen, gets in the lane, and throws it up and misses everything badly. Loose ball, picked up by nobody. What do we got? Jack Madden makes the call. It'll be a foul against Indiana, and it'll be on Billy Keller. And I think it's going to be a backcourt foul. Or is it? Apparently, well, John Bannock doesn't seem to think, oh, now Madden moses him down here, so apparently he feels that McLean had possession of the ball. Bannock wasn't aware of that, and John was at the other end of the floor waiting.
It's another one of those very interesting calls.
The hot dog will get a pair, fouled in backcourt. Picked up that nickname early in his high school and college career because of his hounding on defense. It's not a derogatory remark at all. McLean getting 2 out of 2. He has a half a dozen points. He has all 4 of the points Kentucky has scored in the second period. We're tied at 33. It's the 4th time it's been tied tonight. Keller's given a lot of room out back. Knight down to Roger Brown. Into the lane he swings. The hook shot is good.
Oh.
It will not count. An offensive foul on Brown. Offensive on Roger Brown. Look at this.
Yes, now decide for yourself. There goes Roger with that patented backhand. See him take his left hand, and he did hook it around the waist of his defensive man, Mr. Roberts.
So you almost got to be looking for something like that to see that kind of a...
That's right, and they really are looking.
33 all. Kentucky with a chance to get the lead again. Kevin Joyce coming out of the ropes. Now we'll get a foul the other way maybe. Nope, going to be on Billy Cutter again. And it's 2 on Billy.
He and Louis are doing what they've done for so many years. They're just beating each other to death down there for position.
Bonus as of yet is not in effect. That's the 4th team foul against Indiana. Only one so far against Kentucky. On the next foul against Indiana, Kentucky goes into the bonus. McLean down the alley. And they're going to call a foul on Joyce, and the basket's going to count. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
I don't know. They claim he got him on the arm here. Let's take a look. Now watch Kevin. They called the foul right before the shot went up in the air. Claimed he got him on the arm.
McLean gets the field goal and the free throw, and the Hound Dog has all 7 of the points now scored in this period. A total of 9 of the game. And McLean's average is only 8.6. 36-33. The Colonels go in front by 3. That's the largest lead they've had in this period. Keller firing, missing. Rebound tapped away from McGinnis by Gilmore. They throw it out of bounds. Neither ball club able to get any semblance of a continuation of their offensive patterns going tonight. Kentucky was hot early, then Indiana took over command of the offense, and suddenly it's turned around the other way. And neither ball club able to stabilize it. Now the pass by Joyce is intercepted in the corner by McLean and thrown back in, and Kentucky has it again. Dampier pulling up outside. Issel, 18-footer. No. Rebound McLean. Good speed into the lane and back out to Dampier. And Louis, did he walk? 3-second violation inside. I believe that time Dandy Dan Issel got cut with a violation. So Billy Knight comes back into the Pacers lineup. Roger Brown will go out. Bobby Leonard really shuffling bodies tonight. That's Bobby in that light-colored suit on the bench.
Maybe the players are beginning to feel the heat as much as we are. They're doing a lot more running than we, and it's awfully humid in here.
There's kind of a mist hanging in this arena, kind of a fog. Not that that's going to bother anybody, but it is really, really warm in here. Keller around Louis Dampier, gets inside amongst the big guys, is shoved out of bounds, and the ball goes to Kentucky. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Maybe you have to draw blood tonight.
Dampier wants to change the basketball. That's Bobby Leonard. Down toward that midcourt stripe. Not a particularly happy man right now as he's seen his ball club lose a 4-point lead and fall down by 3 at 36-33 with 7 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the first half. We'll have Gene Rhodes, the general manager of this Kentucky ball club, as our guest at halftime, and also the Pacemates, those that are here tonight. Now we got a whistle inside and a lane violation again on Gilmore this time. And you can thank Jerry Oliver, the Pacers assistant coach, for that call. He came storming off the bench. Vanek reacted to it. So Indiana back with the basketball.
This reminds me a lot of the first half of the game the other night.
Neither club can take command, just sort of teeter-tottering back and forth. Keller getting it in now to Knight, 6'6.5", working on 7-2. Gilmore misses. He had the shot all right, but it wouldn't fall. Issel. Rebound Knight. Roberts over the shoulder, and what do we got?
A jump ball.
A jump ball. Absolutely unbelievable.
Boy, I tell you, Roberts almost tore Billy Knight's arm off on that.
Well, we'll get a timeout before we have this exciting jump ball. Timeout, Kentucky. 6:44 to go. First half, 36-33. Colonels have the lead, and we're back with more action after this timeout. No, let's come back with this, Mike, and talk about this. Yeah,
good.
Okay. It's the kind of a game it's going to be. Let's take another look at that last controversial call, which ended up in a jump ball. You judge.
Now, Billy Knight's got excellent inside position. There goes Marv Roberts over his entire body, yanks off his arm. That's a jump ball, folks.
I think I'll turn this little TV monitor we have around here and point it toward the floor.
Well, they wouldn't see it.
Indiana with Billy Keller at guard, Kevin Joyce at guard, so we have a legitimate guard combination in there now. Lenny Elmore anchoring the pivot. Billy Knight and George McGinnis on the sides. Louis Dampier and Ted McLean with the Kentucky guards. Marv Roberts and Dan Issel on the wings, and the big fella in the middle. We'll jump it up now between Roberts at 6'8", Knight at 6'6.5". The Colonels get the tap. McLean into Roberts, working on Billy Knight, turning, firing, scoring. Roberts getting his first 2 points of the game. And the Colonels have their biggest margin tonight at 5 of 38-33. Big George trying to swing down the lane, misses. Rio got his Elmore with a rebound, back up and missed it again. Rebound to Billy Knight, back up and good.
Boy, Lenny made that play. He sneaked in there along the baseline to pick up that offensive rebound and keep the ball alive.
You can't make anybody happy tonight. Hubie Brown thought there should have been a 3-second lane violation called. He came storming off that Colonel's bench to announce that it's same inside. Here's the foul on McGinnis.
Now, George did a marvelous job of acting, perhaps to pick up an Emmy here. You're going to see Artis get the ball, see George push off. He pushed him, and then he fell backwards, and that was the correct call.
And the bonus is in effect, so the big fella goes to the line. As you look at Louis Dampier on the left and a very perspiring George McGinnis on the right. Gilmore hitting. Gilmore's first point this second period of play. He is looking for his first field goal so far. That's the big fourth-year pro out of Jacksonville. And again, Kentucky is 5 out of 5 this period from the free throw line. Indiana hasn't been to the line as of yet. Kentucky's out in front by 5 at 40-35. Knight, corner, yep.
Now there's that patented shot that has become so famous to watch anymore.
And even 12 points for Knight, who averaged 17.1 over the regular seasonal haul against Kentucky. Billy was a 14 per game scorer. They've got it to Gilmore, setting up low, back to Averett, shooting on Kevin Joyce and missing. Rebounded by McGinnis, tapped away to Billy Knight. Kicked off to Billy Keller. Indiana down by 3. McGinnis to Billy. He will fire the home run shot, and he missed it. The rebound of the air to Artis Gilmore again. Kentucky not giving Indiana many second opportunities. Roberts throws it up and missed it badly. Now a whistle on Issel along that baseline. Dan Issel getting number 1.
They only have charged him for 1?
That's all. That's the second team foul. Well, it's not a team foul. It's a loose ball foul. They have 2 against Kentucky. Indiana's already put Kentucky into the bonus of their 5th team foul sometime back. 5 minutes to play. Here's McGinnis outside. Yes!
Yes.
Big George with 10 now. Off to a slow start. Had 6 points in the first quarter. That's only his 4th point here in the second period. Indiana's back to within 1 at 40-39. Marv Roberts to Issel. Back it comes in the corner. That's Averett firing and scoring.
It's a nice play they set up. Dan fed it off nicely to Averett, who was free in the corner.
Averett's only a 43% shooter, but he's also, like the rest of the ball club, shooting very well in the playoffs. Boy, Ron Thomas is shooting over 60% in the playoffs because he's only shooting about every 3rd week. McGinnis drops the ball, and Roberts takes it away. Kevin Joyce cuts him off, but he got it anyway. Oh, those are the excuses, or the mistakes for which there are no excuses, and they'll just break your back when you're just trying to set up your offensive pattern. Joyce getting a step on Averett, bumps him away, and the shot is no good, and Averett gets the blocking foul.
Got lucky on that one.
And Hubie Brown wears some more of the paint off on the sideline. It is number 1 against Bird. 3rd against the ball club, and a 44-39 lead for Kentucky. Kevin Joyce will go to the free throw line. KJ from that line is a 79% free throw shooter. Big fella will get a couple of tries, the first of which is good. We challenge you to taste and compare Pabst Blue Ribbon, because once you do, you'll never go back to the beer that you've been drinking. Joyce hits and misses. Rebound comes to Kentucky again. KJ with 8 points. Those were Indiana's first 2 free throw attempts here in the second period. 3 minutes and 55 seconds to go in the quarter. 44-40. Colonels. Gilmore setting up low inside. Feeds to Roberts from about the free throw line, and he scores again. Roberts has had games of 19, 16, 13, and 14 against us, and on the regular season haul, his average was just over 6 per game. That's the kind of a playoff series this guy is having. McGinnis lost it again. They come to Averett. They lob it inside to Roberts. Head fakes. Lost it out of bounds to Indiana.
Roberts is way far underneath the basket and really couldn't do anything.
We'll see Don Boosie for the first time tonight. There's Boo. Gunner coming out of the lineup. Billy with no points. Couple of personal fouls. Don Boosie out of the University of Evansville. 6'4" guard. A defensive specialist. We got to have somebody to try to stop that penetration by Dampier and Averett, because they're just going wherever they want to go when they want to go. McGinnis firing outside and missing. Rebound tapped away and finally picked up inside by Elmore, who missed it. Tapped up once, won't go. Batted out back and tracked down by Kentucky. Averett with a penetration, dump off, and 2 more for Roberts. And the Colonels go up by 8. Right now, they own the ball game. At this stage, they've just taken over.
The momentum really has switched, and they're playing some smart basketball, and right now Indiana's making some costly mistakes.
Kevin Joyce, about 20 feet away, got one. KJ, first field goal this half, 10 points in the game as Indiana pulls back to within a half a dozen. Indiana's, in this entire series, had a little problem of running back-to-back mistakes and not getting a shot away for 2 or 3 times up court. Way an air ball by Averett, picked off by Boosie, and a terrible shot. The Boo back across the line to Kevin Joyce. Wants it from this side this time, and he missed it. Rebound by Boosie, though. Boo back outside of McGinnis. He will fake the 3. Swing down the lane, underhanded up, and miss it. Rebound, but I think McGinnis will get credit for the basket, and he will. On a goaltending call on Gilmore. McGinnis gets to the S12 now. A timeout call now by Kentucky with 2:13 to go. As you look at the replay again, there you can see him touching it on the rim. 2:13 to go in the first half, and a Kentucky lead at 48-44. We'll be back in Freedom Hall in just a minute. Okay, Mike. Yeah, let me have number 4 coming back. Number 4, the playoff scores. Yep. Okay, I doubt seriously if we'll get another one this period. Okay. I don't think you need to be reminded, but Indiana stands down 3-1 right now. The Colonels won the opener in a waltz down here in Freedom Hall, 120-94. Kentucky the second game, 95-93, and the third game, 109-101 back at Market Square. But then on Monday night, Indiana pulled off that 94-86 victory, so it's 3-1 right now. The Colonels are out on top in this series, and Indiana trying desperately to get back into it tonight. There's a general feeling amongst a lot of people, and I think even the fans, that if Indiana could somehow conceivably pull off a win tonight, it might just turn this whole thing around, even though still it's a 3-2 advantage in favor of the Colonels, and the home court advantage still very much theirs. Gilmore on Elmore. Missed it badly, and a whistle inside, and McGinnis is going to get caught for a foul again. That's 3.
Well, that hurts because that comes with under 2 minutes left in the first half.
And it also comes with a bad shot by Gilmore and a rebound by Indiana, which would give us an opportunity to go back up court and cut into that lead some more. As it stands right now, Issel can add to it instead. Dan Issel, 74% free throw shooter. He's been on the ABA All-Star squad every year he's been in the ABA. And just one of the best players in the whole darn league at that forward spot. Had a rough year early. Couldn't seem to get it all together. And then as the year progressed, so did Dan. And he peaked himself just right for the playoffs. Got them both.
Yes, particularly after the All-Star break, he really came around. Played some excellent ball.
Back to a half a dozen point lead for the Colonels at 50-44 with 1 minute and 50 seconds to go in the first half. Charlie Edge is the new man of the Pacer lineup. Charlie at 6'6" from the Boyne Owen. Second year of the ABA. Last year with Memphis. That's Charlie. Back to Boosie. Off to KJ. They've got it into Lenny. Back to Joyce. He's a good shooter from that particular area, but not this time. Well, Gilmore just gets that thing, and looks like the Empire State Building waiting for somebody to take an elevator up. 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. Lenny reaches around Gilmore and bats it free, and it's a good thing he got it because Gilmore had a path to the basket that time.
Well, when you overplay like that, that's the chance that you take, and obviously you're going to need your teammates to help you out.
Issa will inbounds to Roberts. They've got it inside, and Elmore goes in. We got a foul on Lenny. First on Lenny tonight. Elmore has suffered through the regular rookie jinx of getting himself in foul trouble early, but tonight he's held off with only 1. Hillman and McGinnis have 3 personal fouls against him. They're the only Pacers in any kind of difficulty. Gilmore has 3, as does Ted McLean for the Kentucky Colonels. Hornet, Gremlin, or Matador? From American Motors, the economy experts. There is the Giant. Some kind of a ball player. 3 out of 3 from the line this period. He's a 69.6% free throw shooter on the year. Average of 23.6, 6th best in the ABA. Gets them both. So Gilmore has 12 points, 4 in this period, and they've all come from the free throw line. And Kentucky's up to an 8-point lead again at 52-44. Billy Knight taking Issel inside, got in amongst the traffic, got the reverse layup and scored beautifully.
Well, he makes a very difficult shot look easy. He works that baseline extremely well.
14 for Billy. He has 6 this period to equal George McGinnis for honors. Averett swings inside and scores again. The Pacer defensive guard has really hurt us in this playoff series because Averett, McLean, and Dampier have been able to, though not necessarily score a lot, get inside and make things happen. This is Charlie Edge off to Elmore. Shooting over Averett, missing, got his own rebound, back up and blocked away. Rebound put back up and good by Billy Knight. Knight with 16 points, only 1 shy of his scoring average on the year. We're down to 32 seconds to go in the half. 54-48. Kentucky still in front. Neither ball club able to get a full head of steam in the first half, but look out for the final 24 minutes. They ought to be something else.
And Charlie Edge has Dan Issel down low, and Charlie says, boy, I can hardly wait to start knocking heads with Issel. He loves him.
Yeah, he just as soon they take off the uniforms and put on some pads and play a little football. Here is Averett getting around Boosie and missing. The rebound to Boo with 4 seconds. 3, 2, the shot by Knight is good if it goes, but it won't fall. So that's it. There's the story on the scoreboard. High atop Freedom Hall in Louisville. The Kentucky Colonels up by 6 at halftime, 54-48. Our halftime festivities are coming up. In the corners, it'll be Will Jones and Dan Issel. That's the way the Colonels began tonight's ball game, as they began the same way the second half, controlling that tip. Indiana will have Kevin Joyce and Billy Knight at guard, Darnell Hillman, Lenny Elmore, and George McGinnis up front. That's our original starting unit tonight. This is McLean. Got it. So McLean gets his 11th point of the night, and Kentucky puts more pressure on us as the lead goes now back to that 8-point difference. That's the biggest lead they had in the first half. McGinnis around Will Jones, shoves him away, fires and scores. Well, if McGinnis could get that hot hand and pick up about 40 for us tonight, maybe he can keep us close. Somebody come up and get some extra ones on the side. They've got it down low to Gilmore. Turns to his left, and Lenny got a piece of the ball. McGinnis has got it. Yeah, maybe that'll encourage Mr. Elmore just a little bit. KJ, 18 feet away, is good. That's 12 for Kevin Joyce. KJ with a 14.9 average. And in this playoff series, his best game was 20. That came in the opening game. In that 120-94 loss. Issel knocked away. Foul on Elmore, they say. Lenny posted right on that baseline. Appeared to be stationary, but Mr. Bannock ruled otherwise, as did Mr. Madden.
Well, it's another one of those calls that maybe our line of vision here is impaired. Maybe.
Second foul on Lenny. And again, nobody in serious difficulty foul-wise. As we're a minute into the second half. Jones, yes. Will Jones, second field goal, 6th point of the night. Well, Kentucky's been able to go to the bench, and whoever they bring off of there has got the hot hand. They just bring him off shooting. It's the kind of a bench you want. You don't want somebody out there tippy-toeing. Here is Knight backing in, feeds off to Elmore, and he gets a field goal.
That was in Lenny's defense. It was a hot pass and it was a low pass, and I don't think he even thought it was coming.
Knight got himself in trouble inside again. He got in amongst those giants in there and just looked for a friendly shirt. Unfortunately, the pass hit that guy on the shirt in the knee. 58-52, Kentucky. Gilmore goes to his right, to his left again, and missed it again. Rebound picked up inside by Elmore. Lenny doing well, overplaying him on the left side. He won't normally go that direction. If he goes to his left, his percentage comes down considerably. A three by McGinnis.
Home run.
They give George the three. His second of the game.
Couldn't you have sworn his foot was over that line?
I don't think we got that on our replay, but it looked like he had just slid. He took a little extra half a step in there. In fact, I thought originally Bannock was going to call a traveling violation. 58-55, here is Jones, top of the circle again, and no! Rebound, saved by Hillman, thrown into Kevin Joyce. KJ to McGinnis, that's the same spot as he got that one a few minutes ago, only about 3 feet closer. Pacers are patient in the offense tonight. Joyce shooting on Louis Dampier, missing. Rebound tapped off and picked off by Louis. There's McLean all by his lonesome. Rebound, Elmore. Lenny's got at least 3 here in the second half early. McGinnis has got the 3 in the sky again, and it's good again.
Boy, he gets this cranked up. Now watch him.
This is the previous one
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
There's his foot right on the line, or no, maybe he did pull it back right at the last instant. That was the one we questioned a while ago. It was awfully close. Good eyes by Bannock, apparently. Here is Gilmore again going to his left, and again he misses. 3 straight times he turned left and missed them all. McGinnis tonight. Billy inside, fake, shoots. No, he blew the layup in no jump ball. The ball comes up to Kentucky.
Now Gilmore intimidated Billy.
Dampier rips one from out back. Louis getting his first field goal since the opening period of play. Here is a blocking foul on Dampier. And on Louis, that'll be 3. Mr. Dampier not very happy. He has a little bit of a side glance toward Knight. I don't know if he thought Billy caught him going by with an elbow or what, but the foul is on Louis. That's his 3rd of the game. That is the story. Colonel's up by a pair. They had a 6-point lead at halftime. They pushed it to 8, and the Pacers have come back to tie it. At 56, here is Joyce. No. Rebound, Gilmore. Wilbur Jones. Gene Rhodes and I at halftime talking about that Dampier-Darrell Carrier combination. Again, Gilmore goes left, and this time he is fouled. That is on Lenny. That's 3.
You'll see him overplaying him, as we've pointed out throughout the game, and watch him go up with the shot. And you can see he does catch him on the left hand.
To those who maybe are new along the television lines tonight, I don't want to sound redundant talking about Gilmore going to his left, but he just almost never does that. And when he does, it is cause for making concern. He's just the kind of a guy who, if he goes to his right and gets a step, he can just tear the thing off the rim or off the backboard.
Well, these are the points that Hubie Brown has been trying so hard to work with him all year to improve his offensive ability.
Hubie told me in an interview after that Monday game that he thought that Gilmore had reached, of course, a very high plateau, but he had a lot more to go. McGinnis shuffles off inside. Here's the shot. It won't go by Elmore. And the Pacer bench explodes again, wanting a foul on the big fella. Here he goes. Gilmore gets his first field goal since the first period, his 14th point of the night. And it's 62-58. The Colonels back to that lead. McGinnis about 18 feet out is short. Rebound tap free, picked off by Gilmore in the middle. Kentucky on the run. Dampier down low to Jones, inside for 2. And the Pacers want to take timeout. They were tied at 56, and it's now 64-58. Kentucky leads, 7.5 to go. 3rd period of play. A standing ovation for the Colonels. We'll be right back. Say again, please. Okay. Mike, not this time, but next time I want to get that number 10 up. Number 10 up. Hornet, Gremlin, or Matador. From American Motors, the economy experts. Pacers trail 64-58 in the shooting story.
Yes, Kentucky's come out shooting in the third quarter here, 5 of 10 for 50%. We're shooting 4 of 9 for 44.4%. We've pulled down more rebounds, 6 to their 5, and we've turned it over one time.
All right, a look from the floor camera at the activity going on out there, and now a shot from up high as the Colonels come back on as Hubie Brown turns them loose. Hubie trying to pick up that ABA crown in his first year in the league, something nobody else at this ball club's been able to do, and they've had coaches coming through this thing like a clicking turnstile. And nobody's been able to get the job done. They've been to the finals twice and lost both times. Joyce, great play inside on a super pass from McGinnis.
That's just a great two-band play. You pass it in, you pass it back, keep on going.
14 now for KJ, an average of 14-9 over the regular season haul, 11 per game in the 8 contests against the Colonels this year. 64-60. Kentucky still on top. Indiana's biggest lead was 4 back in the second period. Dampier rips one outside again.
He worked beautifully off of Artis's pick, and that's quite a pick.
Well, when you got Artis out there just moving around, you're going to have an awful lot of alleys to work from, and that's what's happening right there. Of course, Louis can hit him inside. Here is Billy Knight shooting over Ted McClain and getting it right back. Well, Billy Knight, the rookie out of Pittsburgh, that's 18 points. McGinnis has picked up 8 this period and became the high point man with 20 in the game. Issel, little fake and getting in a couple of more steps, and the E got one. Kentucky on the year was the 3rd best two-point field goal shooting team in the league. They were 4th in the three-point category, so you give them any kind of room at all, they're going to rip you. 6:25 to go in the third quarter. Kevin Joyce, baseline, over McClain, short, rebound, tap free, tracks down, and finally out of bounds to Kentucky. Time, not yet a big factor in the game, but you always got to keep in mind that every tick that goes by is one less second you got to try to play catch-up basketball, and throughout this entire 4-game series so far, that's what we've been doing. Although at one stage against Kentucky in that first game at home, we had them down by 10. Couldn't put them away. Jones to Gilmore. There he goes to his left, and he missed it this time. And the rebound comes to Hillman. Quickly out to Billy Knight in the lineup. Logged in as a guard, though he's still basically a forward. McGinnis, a three-pointer again. No, this time. Rebound, Gilmore. Elmore had no place to go. 5:45 to go. Dampier runs inside, jumps on KJ, way off the mark, and Hillman's got the missed shot. All of a sudden, Kentucky's going out of there.
It's getting a bit ragged, to say the least, and this has really been the series play.
They give it out to Billy Knight. He shoots, and he got it. And Knight has his 20th point of the game so far in this Kentucky series. Knight's best ball game has been 28. That came in that 109-101 loss back at Market Square Arena on that Saturday night game that we had him down with those 10 points. Down the lane, McClain.
Nobody came over across the middle to help him out. And those guards are doing it to us again. They're penetrating, they're dishing off, and it's nice to behold if you're a Kentucky fan.
Here's a steal on another one of those bad passes, and Jones banks it home. 10 points for Will Jones. Oh, there's just no excuse for those kind of passes in situations like this when the pressure's on and the money's on the line. 72-64. We get back within the game, and all of a sudden we're down by 8 again. 4:40 to go. Here is Billy Knight. Got 2 of them back, though. Knight with 22 points. The Kentucky guards, Dampier has 8. Averett has 7. Ted McClain has 13. So they're getting it.
That's 28 points.
Spreading it out evenly out back. That's McClain with the ball. They give him a ton of room as Knight backs up to front Gilmore. Jones running into McGinnis. Offensive foul on Will Jones. That'll be 3. The Pacer guards, on the other hand, Boosie has none. Keller has none. Joyce has 14.
Billy's been having his problem. Billy Keller, I'm speaking of now, has been having his problems in this Kentucky series. He was absolutely outstanding in the Denver series. I don't think I've ever seen him play better basketball in that particular series.
Well, Bobby Leonard said if it hadn't been for Billy, we wouldn't be here right now, but it certainly left him in that 8 or 9 day span that we had off. Billy back in the lineup right now. Maybe he can get it fired up and move in that direction. We have a legitimate guard combination in there now. Keller and Joyce. McGinnis down the alley, threw it away again, but tracked it back down. He double dribbled and he walked all over somebody. He did double dribble first. Yeah, they caught him on that.
Oh, that was an obvious double dribble.
I couldn't understand why the whistle wasn't blowing, and it was. You just
It's
can't
hard
hear
to
it.
hear things down here, Jerry. Do you notice that?
It's, well, I think we heard that buzzer tonight.
Yeah.
They turned it on early before the game and the buzzer went off. Gilmore, no, rebound. Issel, back up, blocked away by Hillman and picked off by Keller. Billy Knight runs to the corner, shoots from there, missed it. Rebound picked off McGinnis, back up and good. For George, that's 10 points in this period. He has 22 in the game, and it's 72-68. Issel with an easy one.
That's simply not getting back on defense, and Dan was all alone.
I sometimes wonder if we're paying attention. Knight working on Issel, spun him into the lane and goes back to Hillman. He goes to KJ. Nobody wants the shot. Joyce will take it and get it. 16 for Kevin. He goes down hard, but you can see he's back up and moving. 74-70. KJ on the knockaway. It'll be out of bounds to Kentucky. We had a series in almost every game of 2 or 3 times, well, about a half a dozen times up court, split up into pairs. We come up and throw it away, get it back, come up and throw it away again.
Well, I think the other night down at home was probably the most shottily played ball game in the first half. So many turnovers.
That was Dan Issel, and Issel's got 16 now. And it's 76-70 as Kentucky continues to rip us. Their shooting when it has to be is really good. That's Billy Knight trying to get him back, and he does.
Boy, Billy's really had a hot hand in this third quarter.
Knight the other night here in that second game in the first half had, or was it back home? I guess it was back home. He hit 8 for 8 in that Saturday ball game in the first half, and he had an excellent shooting night. 76-72. Colonels, 2:25 to go, third quarter. McLean blocked away by KJ, but McLean gets it back and fires and throws an air ball up there. Jones hooks it up and missed it. Tapped up, Gilmore won't go. Rebound McLean, blocked by Hillman. Beautiful work under the boards, and then Hillman throws it away, and Joyce comes and gets it anyway. Here's the layup. They say that KJ was out of bounds.
Oh, wow.
They call Joyce for being out of bounds. Forget the basket. Timeout call by Kentucky with 2:08 to go in the third period. Colonels lead it 76-72. More action in a minute. Well, okay. I'll pass on 10 this time then.
That kid has got to be dying in that getup.
They don't sweat. They don't sweat. 2:08 to go. Third period play from Freedom Hall in Louisville. Those are the goaltenders is the name of that group. And they are, as our pacemates are, trying to fire up this crowd down here. Over our shoulder behind us, we have a group of Indiana Pacer fans who have come down. And they're somewhat outnumbered by what is going to be a crowd as of yet unannounced, but something up around, I would guess, 16,000 or so. Because as you look around the far reaches of this arena, there aren't very many bad spots. Many vacant spots. I was thinking bad spots because there was an article written in one of the papers here today really commending our Market Square Arena, saying it's a shame they can't have something like that down here. So nice to hear those things. Dampier over Keller.
They can for $22.5 million.
Yeah, of course, this thing probably would cost that much to build right now, but the difference is it's spread out. It's not nearly as an upright type arena. Here is Knight back inside and scoring again. And Billy is doing it all right now. He has 5 field goals this period, 26 points in the game. And he is our one saving grace at the moment. As Knight keeps us in this affair, down by 4, 78-74 with a minute and a half to go. McLean with room. No good. Rebound out of bounds, too, and a foul. Nope, just out of bounds.
No foul by Mr. Jones for going over the back of everybody.
So it's Pacer basketball. Bobby Leonard with his fist clenched high in the air to signify the offensive pattern he wants his ball club to run. And Keller runs it right side. Double post high, as you can see at the free throw line. And a whistle inside, and maybe it's on Ron Thomas. It is. Ron Thomas, the third-year pro from the University of Louisville, getting number 2. And the Pacers want timeout. 78-74. Pacers are down by 4 with a minute 19 to go. And we'll have a chance to look at some of the guys who are making up this Kentucky ball club. This Artis Gilmore fella, for instance. With a total of only 14 points tonight, the big guy finished the year 6th in scoring, 2nd in rebounding behind Swin Nader, 2nd in 2-point field goal shooting, and 2nd in block shots. I don't know what else a guy can do for your ball club. He also has that one great advantage of being able to simply intimidate people. If you look carefully inside of that pack of folks there, you'll find the big fella sitting down there, listening to head coach Hubie Brown, as that ball club is up by only 4, 78-74 with a minute 19 to go. And Phyllis, I guess it's encouraging to note that without getting very much scoring from anybody other than Knight and McGinnis, we're at least staying close in this ball game.
Yes, you know, this has been a very difficult series to make any sense out of. You look at the statistics I recall the other night. First half statistics was all in our favor. And here we were down by 3 points at that point. And it is hard to make any sense out of this series. We have been out-rebounded. Sometimes we've been out-muscled and out-hustled. But we've been able to maintain ourselves in a fairly close ball game. And I think that this ball game, like many of the others, is going to get down to the last 2 minutes. And perhaps it's going to depend on how well we can shut out their guards. Now, their guards in this particular quarter have not been doing the things that they did well in the first half. So maybe that's an encouraging sign.
Here come the Colonels, and that's a look at Bobby Leonard and the Pacer bench. Jerry Oliver, David Craig sitting side by side, waiting for activity to begin once again. 1:19 to go, third period, lots of time left. Indiana, Knight will inbounds to Keller. Billy stays out to help out.
He's got a mouse on his left eye.
And a whistle inside. Foul actually away from the ball. It'll be on McLean.
You can see Billy making his move towards the baseline, and they're calling the foul on McLean. If you can get a shot of Billy, he's got I call it a mouse on his left eye. I don't know if it occurred. I didn't notice it the other night. It must have happened in the first half. Well, of course, there's his right eye.
Keller at the free throw line. We'll have a couple of tries.
He just won't cooperate by turning around for us.
Keller's the kind of a guy that's going to have bumps and bruises everywhere because he's an all-out performer all the time. And when he has a bad night, it is not because he is not at least paying attention and trying. He's giving you all he's got. 2-point lead, Kentucky. They had it as high as 8 this period. It was tied at 56, and the Colonels got it going in a hurry. Exactly a minute to go in the period. Well, they've got it where they want it now, but Lenny playing good defense. There's the hook shot out front. 16 for the Big A. But remember, he had 8 of that 16 in the first period. Didn't get a field goal in the second, has just 2 here in the third. So the Pacer defense has done a good job shutting off that middle scoring, at least out of Gilmore, though Issel has had a good night again. Here is Hillman shooting and missing, and Gilmore's got the board. And with 28 seconds to go, Kentucky can take the final shot of the third period and go to Hubie Brown with at least a 4-point lead. Hubie is up, as you can see, at the top of your screen, walking the sidelines, talking to his ball club. Bird Averett at guard and Louis Dampier. Averett had it deflected away by Boosie, but got it back. Averett penetrates, feeds off to Thomas. They got a block on it, and the Pacers going to pick it up. Yeah, Keller's got it. 3 seconds, 2, and
oh, wow. He was level.
Averett's going to pick up the foul, I believe. Jack Madden's going to make the call, or is he?
Oh, he's got to make the call.
He's walking all the way over here now, talking to Bobby Leonard. The foul will be on Bert Averett.
Yes, and he's calling a loose ball foul. Now watch Billy Keller race like you know what to get after that ball. He's tripped from behind inadvertently by Bert Averett, and they end up in a tangle off the end of the court. He says no shots. It's a loose ball foul.
Averett's second personal foul. It'll be Pacer basketball with 1 second to go.
1 second.
Yeah, stay close on this one, Jerry.
Oh, that's not nice.
1 second to go here. Let's see if we can throw another one in here. Boosie's going to inbounds. Keller set up way down in the corner, as you can see.
The clock doesn't start, remember, folks, till someone touches the ball after, Don passes it in.
Keller will break on the near side. They've got it to Hillman all by himself, and he got it. Oh, it came out. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. A tremendous play. Oh, Kentucky took that baby hook, line, and sinker, and it wouldn't fall. Well, that's the story as we get set to go for 4. Look at this thing one more time.
Oh, watch that. You see Darnell's all by himself, and I think he was shocked, too, and the ball just simply rolls and falls out.
Will not go. That is the end of 3. Kentucky 80, Pacers 76. The 4th period is coming up. Well, now the question arises. Do we have 12 more minutes of ABA basketball for this long season? Or do we have 12 more minutes and then some more? At the end of 3, it's 80-76. Kentucky's being led by the 16 points of Dan Issel and Artis Gilmore. Indiana has 26 and Billy Knight and 22 out of George McGinnis.
Boy, Gilmore has just been a bear on the boards. He personally has 23 in the game so far. In the third quarter, Kentucky took down 14 to our 12. Kentucky shot 45%. We shot 55%. George has 7 assists in the game. Louis Dampier has 10. We committed 4 turnovers to their 1, and as Jerry says, this may be it till October.
But there's 12 minutes to go, and the Pacers have played well in stretches and very poorly in other stretches. Let's see if they can find one of those good stretches. The tap control by Kentucky, that's nothing new. They've had almost every tap. As a matter of fact, we've lost about 98% of the taps since the start of the playoffs began back against San Antonio, it seems like an eternity ago. Watch out for this guy. If he decides that trophy is, those rings are only 12 minutes away. If he decides to get it going. Gives it back off to McLean. Back into the fella. Here we go. Blocked beautifully by Elmore and goaltending. Jack Madden called goaltending.
That's quite a call.
Oh, look at it again.
Here he goes. Now watch Lenny go up. The important thing is, does he get it on the way up or on the way down into the cylinder? You make your decision. Madden's already made his.
Gilmore's got 18 points tonight. Boy, did that hurt because Lenny was up there among them. 82-76. Don Boosie at guard. Well, they're really fighting through the middle, and Madden's going to stop it, and Issel's going to get the foul. Second on Dan. Been a lot of fouls tonight, but they've been spread out pretty evenly, so nobody's in any serious trouble. That is number 2 on Dan Issel. And it's 82-76 right now. Kentucky still out in front. They led by 8 in the second, 8 in the third. The Pacers at one stretch in that second period had a 4-point lead, and that's been the biggest they've been able to get it. McGinnis. Double team. Back out. Billy Knight. No, won't go this time. You can see Bert Averett saying, give me the ball.
Yeah, I was making a tattoo on his numbers, on Gilmore's numbers.
I don't know if you can see that on your screen or not, but he was tapping on the back, rat-a-tat-tat, trying to get that ball back. They don't want the big guy handling it on the dribble.
I'll call foul on George here.
Whistle down low. I think somebody might have kicked the ball. Yeah, that's what it is. Somebody kicked it. There was no foul called.
We got lucky on that one.
So Kentucky will inbounds. 57 seconds gone in the fourth and final period of play. Now some discussion at the timer's bench over here. They reset the shot clock. It was they're going to run it down now to 16 seconds. 16 seconds to shoot. Kentucky's got the ball as they try to hang on to that 6-point lead. Roberts over Billy Knight, missing. Rebound picked off inside by the smallest guy out there, Averett, who cannot get it to fall, and a whistle inside. Against Kentucky, it'll be a rebounding foul, and it's on Gilmore. Now that is the 4th. Artis getting his 4th personal foul. That is a look at the big giant right there. If they win this thing, he's got a chance of being the most valuable player in the league. Not this year, of course, but for years to come, because he can just, once he decides he wants to play the game, just become dominant. There's a foul again on Issel. Of course, this year McGinnis had to share it with Dr. J. Gilmore's had it before. And they say that one of the things that they're having trouble with Artis is the concentration factor, getting him to decide he wants to play all the time as well as he can. And you never know why a championship can do strange things to people. McGinnis converts them both.
Of course, being hungry for a championship can do a lot of strange things too, particularly put a lot of pressure on you.
Well, they haven't got this sucker won yet. Indiana staying right with them, 82-78. Gilmore's doing a good job keeping him away from the basket. Now here's the penetration by McLean and that little scooping shot that's good.
Now, we mentioned this before. When their guards do those things so well as their guards do, we're in big trouble.
I don't honestly think that Bobby Leonard probably anticipated us getting hurt quite as much at guard. You fear the big man in the middle. You fear an Issel. But their guards have hurt us a great deal. Here's McGinnis. Back out to Linney. About 17 feet out is good. Elmore gets his first point since the opening period of play. Linney had 6 then. He has 2 more this quarter. Total of 8. And still it's an 8-point Kentucky lead with 9:55 to play. And a whistle away from the ball down low, and I think it's going to be on McGinnis, and it is. George has got his 4th.
And you can hear the 16,622 people who are here tonight applaud that.
Bonus not in effect. Shot partially deflected away by Boosie. Here's the flip-out pass. It's deflected away and tracked down by Averett. So Indiana trying for the fast break, threw it away again. Averett and McLean in the corner to Marv Roberts, who came in to play that forward spot. Give Will Jones a rest period. Still trying to get it into Gilmore. They've got it down low. Back to Averett, shooting on Billy Keller. The Pacers just simply cannot get it together in a streak. Here's a shot by Knight, and Billy's having a superb game.
That was an excellent drive. He just kept on going, and I think he surprised his defender. Good pass by Billy Keller.
28 points for Billy Knight. His best game in the San Antonio series was 35, and he had 44 in one of those Denver games. 28 is his best effort. It equals his best effort. He had 20 also in that 3rd game. Issel bumps McGinnis away, and we had what do we have? No foul. Gilmore gets the field goal. Artis gets the field goal, his 20th point of the night. And again, we're gonna wipe off the basketball this time. Changed balls a while ago, unhappy with it. Now they want some of the sweat wiped off of it. McGinnis claiming he couldn't hang on to it.
Well, they must have gone through a ton of that stickum stuff. It is so hot, they're just drenched.
88-82, the crowd yelling defense as Knight shoots over Roberts and misses. The rebound in the corner and tracked down by Gilmore again. And the big A flips around to Averett, and here they come. Averett shooting. Oh, boy. We're going to have to introduce our guards to their guards because they're not playing much defense on them right now, I'll tell you that.
Well, they're awfully quick. Very, very quick guards for Kentucky.
McGinnis, good play. Foul on Gilmore.
I'll call a blocking foul. Look at George get around Issel now. He helps himself get around with his left arm. Then he comes around, makes the shot. They call a blocking foul on Artis Gilmore, which is his, 4th foul?
That is a 5th on the big fella.
That doesn't hurt.
Gilmore with 5, and there's a ton of time remaining in this ball game. 8 minutes and 12 seconds, and the Pacers are not the kind of a ball club that are going to give it up and go home. They're going to take a timeout now, though. Timeout Indiana with 8:12 to go. Kentucky 90. The Pacers 84. More action for Freedom Hall after this timeout. Assuredly, as one of the future stars of the American Basketball Association.
And there's another look at another future star, too, Lenny Elmore, who's just done a superb job on Artis Gilmore. He has not at all been intimidated. He's blocked a couple of Artis' shots. He's done a good job of trying to keep him out, and it's very, very hard because not only is Artis tall, but he's extremely strong.
The interesting thing about tonight's game, the Kentucky fans, all 16,622, have been loud at times, but nothing to compare with the Indiana crowds. And one of the reasons is they just aren't quite sure yet this is for real. McGinnis gets the free throw shot to pull Indiana even closer. Kentucky has been to this point before, and they've lost both times, once to Utah, once to us, and the fans are not quite sure they've got what it takes, but they've got a good advantage right now at 90-85. 8 minutes exactly to play. They give him room, and they miss. The rebound comes to McGinnis as McLean couldn't get it to fall. Well, let's see what Bobby Leonard called during the timeout there. See if we're going to change the offensive patterns. It appears to be a little bit of a slowdown game now. We got to have some points. McGinnis turning on Issel, shooting, scoring.
Nothing fancy about that, but when it goes in, it's beautiful.
Big Mac has 7 points in the period, 29 in the game. He with 29, Knight with 28. They have kept us alive in the second half. In fact, only 2, 4, 6, 8, only 10 points in the second half have been scored by those other than those two guys I just mentioned. Gilmore just keeps banging it away.
They're just playing volleyball up there.
That's 22 for Gilmore. His average was 23-6 on the season overall and 25 in the 8 games against Indiana. Pacers down by 92-87, 7:10 to play. We've got to score every time we get the ball.
I just announced that Gilmore has 28 rebounds, which is his high.
This is Knight turning on Issel, shooting. He's got it. Billy Knight with his 30th point of the game. And the Pacers continue to exchange baskets, but that won't get us very much. 6:50 to go. Roberts. Right side McLean. Down to Gilmore. He turns, shoots, and he got it again. 24 points for Artis Gilmore. The man of the hour. He had 41 in that second game. Here is McGinnis, and it should be a blocking foul on Issel.
That'll be...
And that's 4 on Big Dan, according to my figures. We'll wait and see what they throw on the board up here.
That's 4.
Issel with 4.
See this. Yes, you can see this on your screens that Dan, it's not a popular call here, but Dan was blocking.
George McGinnis will be at the Pacer free throw line. Big Mac was 3 out of 6 in the first half. He's 3 out of 3 in the second half. So 6 for 9. Got to have them all. George McGinnis, co-MVP this year in the ABA. Gets 2 more to fall for him. McGinnis now with, well, I've got him down for 31. They have him down for 30 points down the way down there. I've got him for 31. We'll double check that. Roberts, Gilmore turning around, knocked away by Elmore. And finally returned by Gilmore in the lane. McLean knocked away. Loose ball saved by Roberts. It's all going their way now. They missed the shot. McLean back up and good. And it's 96-91. We are inside 6 minutes. Halfway through the 4th and final period. Knight turning, shooting it back out to Elmore. 15-footer is good, and the Pacers continue to meet the challenge. That's 10 for Lenny.
That's quite a rookie combination, Knight to Elmore.
George McGinnis has set a new ABA playoff record on two-point field goals made. He only needed a couple tonight. Inside, McLean knocked away, loose ball tracked down by Indiana again. To take it back, George needed more than that. Here is McGinnis, knocked away. No goaltending. Oh, Bobby Leonard goes crazy up the court. Here is Issel missing the shot. He runs Kevin Joyce completely off the court. I can't believe that lack of a goaltending call. McGinnis has got the 3 in the sky. It is no good, and the ball comes back to Kentucky. Boy, oh boy, did that hurt. That would have gotten us within 1. We're at 4:50 to go. Roberts inside, shoots and scores. Boy, we just got to at least learn how to spell defense. That hurts. Pacers take timeout. 4:44 to play in the game. Kentucky 98, Pacers 93. As you look at McGinnis go up, you judge it. There it is, right there.
What
and
can
a
you say
timeout
about
now.
that? What can you say about that? Jeez Louise.
Tonight, George's best output against San Antonio was 51. He had 40 against Denver. He had 35 in the first game against Kentucky, 30 in the second, 19 in the third, and 22 in the fourth. Here is Billy Knight inside, shooting it off the glass and missing. And Kentucky's got the board, and right now they're 4.5 minutes away from their first ABA championship. Dampier. Louis with 12. And Kentucky right now beginning to realize how close they are. 100-93 is the score. McGinnis going down the lane to Knight on the baseline, and he's got it. Billy Knight, a superb ball game. 32 points for Billy.
You're going to see the Colonels, they're going to run that clock down now, and this is going to be a factor. We're almost under 4 minutes.
Well, I wouldn't mind seeing them run it just a little bit. It takes them out of their game. McGinnis knocks it away, and Billy Knight tried to make the steal, couldn't get there. McLean gets the screen, missed it, rebound tapped away, but Gilmore makes the save in the corner. Actually, McLean comes out with it. You can see Hubie Brown wanting his ball club to go back out, set it up, and spread the floor and kill some of that shot clock. They're in no hurry. 3:35 to go. Bobby Leonard in front of us yelling a lot of time, 195. Game's a long way from over yet, folks. Don't anybody reach for that knob. Dampier into Gilmore, knocked away, and the Pacers have it. Kevin Joyce on the run, comes to Knight. Billy's got 2 more.
Oh, an excellent fast break. Good defense, and that set up the steal, and a good fast break by Kevin and Billy.
And that's what I was saying about let them slow it down. As soon as you lose that momentum, and that's what Kentucky's going to do right now. They want to take time out and talk it over. Timeout, Kentucky, 3:10 to go in the game. Pacers trail by 3, 197. More action in just a minute. Okay. Okay. You want another timeout if we get it? Okay. Okay. If they call a timeout and you change your mind, just let me know. Okay. Well, the Colonels had a 7-point lead a while ago, and they began to go into a little bit of a nursery and try to protect that thing. And as I suggested, as soon as you go out of the game plan that got you that lead, you get yourself a little trouble once in a while. They're not in that big a trouble yet. But another miscue, and the Pacers get that 2 or that 3-point field goal, and suddenly, Charlie, it's a whole new affair.
Yeah, it's almost like sitting on a big lead in football. Sometimes momentum changes to the other team, and you're in big trouble.
All right. Here it comes. Roberts down the alley, shooting and scoring, and that's what we don't need. Roberts now has picked up.
They steal the inbound pass.
Well, there's that that I was telling you about earlier that we've had trouble with this whole series. There's just no excuse for that. All you got to do is find somebody in the same shirt and hand it to him if necessary. 2:44. Bobby Leonard in front of us, motioning his club to play back. Let him kill the clock. 102-97. 10 seconds to shoot. It's down to 8. Roberts again. McLean inside Gilmore. There's the hook shot, and he missed it. The rebound. Oh, it went in. Got the edge of the rim and danced on there and came out. Gilmore with 10 points this period, 26 in the game. Keller is in to give us some outside firepower. Billy Knight spins inside, fake, shoots, he got it again. Billy Knight has 36 points. And the clock is down to 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go. 104-99. And boy, that inbounds pass, or lack thereof, will loom big in the final seconds of this game.
What about that last play of the first half? When Darnell missed that easy one.
Of course, you start looking back for those things, you can drive yourself crazy. McLean talking to Hubie Brown, the head coach of the Colonels. He wants to know what they want him to do. Roberts, Pacers trail by 5. They kick it away. Dampier's shot won't count. It hit Keller on the foot and went back out to Louis. So it'll be Colonels basketball. They've got the shot clock down to 10 seconds.
Keller's whole left side is one battered, bruised body. He's bleeding from the knee. He's got the mouse on the eye.
McLean inside over Hillman.
McLean has penetrated all night long. He's had things his way, and he's really been shooting well.
19 for McLean. Keller's got the bomb up. It's no good. Gilmore's got the rebound. Friends, I'm afraid our season is coming to a close. Unless we get some kind of a miracle out of the bag here. A minute and a half to go. McLean to Dampier. The fans begin to realize that they've got victory within their clutch. 1:20 to go. They'll explode all over this floor. McLean down the lane. Foul by Elmore. Lenny with his fourth. Well, I'm not going to read the rights as of yet, but it has been one heck of a season.
Who would have thought it, Jerry? No kidding. Season begins. We trade away everybody. Come up with some super rookies. Lenny Elmore really made himself a pro down here late in February. You know, you look back, you can't look back, you say, but this has been, I think you talk to Bobby Leonard, he'll tell you never expected to be this far this year.
Pacers have got to go out and get him. The clock is down to 1 minute and 3 seconds to go. They're that far away. Kentucky is from an ABA championship. Inside, Roberts got it again. Marv Roberts, whoa, what a series this guy has had. Keller, blocked by Dampier. We got a foul, I believe. They're still playing up here, but it won't count. The foul's down here.
It's not going to count. Nobody can hear in this arena, remember?
The basket won't count. Dampier's basket doesn't count. The foul is on Louis, as a matter of fact. So take off the Dampier field goal and put the foul on Louis instead. Not that it matters, because now Louis begins to realize it now. Here's the fourth on Dampier. And the Colonels are just 52 seconds away from picking up that ABA championship. Here is the foul on Louis.
Yes, he's going to go up and block that shot, but he also broke about 2 arms of Billy. And the play will continue all the way down there, and George had a 2-on-1.
Louis didn't realize the foul had been committed. It is 108 to 99. Dampier walking through the lane as Keller was shooting. Billy made it, but he'll have to do it again.
Yes, I think Louis is just telling everybody how unhappy he was with that last call.
For Keller, that is his 3rd point. And the 4th. And the Colonels get it in. All they got to do is get it up court a couple of times, and victory is theirs. Steal by Hillman and a foul on McGinnis. That'll be the 5th on Big George. Now the fans all standing en masse, all 16,622. And with 45 seconds remaining in the game, it's a 108 to 101 affair. The Colonels are going to win it and win their first ABA championship.
Ever. Well, you know, we talked about Hubie Brown being such a fine, articulate young man who really is an excellent basketball coach. You've got to give him credit. He's put together a winning team down here, and this is something that the crowds wanted. 108
to 101. Keller will go for the 3. He's got it in the sky. It's off the mark. Rebounded by Issel. Dampier again. 3-on-1. Louis. Nope. Pacer rebound. Deflected away, but Knight will get it. 23 seconds remain. Foul backcourt. Ted McLean with his 5th.
The rest is scoring is, you know, final outcome is rather academic, but you can look back on this series and you've got to say that the guards have just done a marvelous job. Here goes Billy being fouled by McLean.
Pacers have called a timeout, but 22 seconds showing at a 7-point lead for Kentucky. The Colonels were just unbeatable this year on their home court, 39-3. Of course, their home court includes some games in Lexington.
Probably win the most valuable player award from this series. I think that the guards were probably key to this, to the outcome. The guards were able to set up low, they penetrated, they scored well. They really did the things that make the big men so powerful and so dominating in this series. I'm speaking in terms of Issel and Gilmore.
I think about everybody in this arena tonight in excess of 16-6 is on his collective foot, as it were. They are gathered around the edge of the floor. There'll be some presentation ceremonies. We'll stay for a part of those because, well, you know, what can you say? We have been down this pike 3 times, and it's quite an experience. Billy Knight gets 2. Knight's had a tremendous ball game. They get the ball inbounds. McGinnis ties him up. Or, yeah, it'll be either he or Billy Knight. 108-103 with 19 seconds to go.
Bobby Leonard hasn't given up.
No, he's not given up, I'll guarantee you that. Wouldn't this be interesting here? Get a bomb out of somebody. Keller is set up to get the tap, but it comes to Billy Knight instead. Billy will shoot and score. Knight with an outstanding performance, and Kentucky wants a timeout, would you believe? Looky here, folks. 16 seconds to go, and it's 108 to 105. Let me explain this to you.
Oh. Yeah, some people put salt and wounds.
That brings back some bad memories, of course, for the IU fans who lost to the University of Kentucky in the NCAA tournament. It's got a game also. Well, let's see what can happen here. With 16 seconds to go, the Colonels will get it in. And a steal here and another bomb, and, well, they've got it to Gilmore. It's taken away, and we got a foul on Lenny. Elmore gets his 5th foul. 108 to 105. The clock is down to 15. Only 1 second tip by.
These are going to be very important free throws for Artis.
Gilmore, a 70% shooter on the year, 69-6. He is 4 out of 6. He had his first 4, has missed his last 2. And here is the big guy's pressure free throw attempts. Nothing to it. Nothing to it.
16,622 people are standing there screaming and staring at you.
Cool as a cucumber. Got a deuce. That might have done it. Indiana will take timeout again. Clock didn't move. Didn't have to move. 15 seconds to play in the ball game. You're looking at Lenny Elmore and George McGinnis heading back down toward their Pacer bench and head coach Bobby Leonard. And where do we go from here? McGinnis, really just a ball of perspiration. He has worked hard this game, and again, we forget that ankle is still not 100%. No excuse. But the big guys played with the pain. He said it wasn't going to keep him out of this ball game.
He seems to be moving on this ankle a lot better tonight than he did the other night down at home. And, of course, he's had a couple days of rest with it. And as you mentioned, they have taped it. A double tape Davy Craig puts on it. You know, everybody's ankle is taped regardless of an injury or not. But when you do have an injury, they double tape it. And George, I don't think that is, you talk to him after the game, he'll tell you that didn't bother him in the least. We've got a shot at this. I know that sounds ridiculous. We've got 15 seconds. We're down by 5. We get a 3-point. We get a 4-point play.
Well, now Bobby right now is making the decision on what he wants to do. Do you go for the home run first and hope to get the ball back, or do you take it inside, try to get the sure 2 in the foul? That's where the coaches actually earn their money, right here.
And he's got the whole team, and he's diagramming exactly what he wants done. And you know that Bobby Leonard is a proponent of the 3-point bomb. You've been watching all year, and you know he loves to use it, and we've used it well.
Indiana has no more timeouts left. Jack Madden just walking by, signifying such. That was their final timeout. So whatever we get from here on out, we got to get on the floor. No more timeouts to talk it over. 15 seconds to play. It's 110 to 105. The Colonels have that lead. McGinnis will inbounds. He's got it to Hillman. Darnell, a long way from home, goes to Keller. Billy's got the 3 in the sky. It is no good. The rebound tapped off and the chase is on. It's saved by Elmore. Thrown back into Billy Knight. Knight down in front, missing. Rebound to Kentucky in the 2 seconds. 1 second, ball game's over. It's all over in Kentucky. And the Colonels are going to hang their first ABA championship banner from the Raptors at Freedom Hall. They have won it 110 to 105. You see the players congratulating each other. The rivalry here is intense. But there's a certain amount of empathy toward each other, a feeling of friendship off the court. It has been some kind of a rivalry since day one, as a matter of fact. And I just don't think that, well, there you see McGinnis going to Dan Issel to congratulate him. I just don't think that you're going to find any better rivalries in all of basketball than this series, between these two clubs, and it was hurt somewhat when they moved us into the Western Division. It hurt that rivalry. Now you can see the pandemonium at the end of the floor. There are Pacer players out there. There are Colonel players. Juby Brown is moving around amongst those fellas. They're getting set out at center court right now to make the presentation of the trophy, so we'll stay with it as long as we can, as long as time will permit tonight.
You know, the first person that Bobby Leonard congratulated and gave a big bear hug to was Louis Dampier. Now, these guys have been there in the ABA since its inception, and Dampier is a kind of fella that Bobby really has a great deal of respect for. He goes out there and he gives his 125% at all times. You know who's just introduced was your friend of mine, Mr. DeBuscher, the new ABA commissioner.
Let's see if we can pick up any of this. I don't know if we can pick it up. We'll try. We'll see if the guys in the truck tell us how this comes across. That's Dave DeBuscher out at center court being introduced.
It's Mrs. Brown.
American basketball champions, the Kentucky Colonels, Mrs. Ella Brown.
That is Ellie Brown being introduced.
Jerry, we just had a flash here.
Sports Magazine has
Yeah.
announced the most valuable player, and it is Big A.
I hope you could pick that up.
Artis Gilmore wins the MVP. I don't think that's a particularly big surprise, although I'll tell you the truth, Dan Issel was a contender, and somebody else who was in there was Marv Roberts. Roberts had a tremendous playoff series. You really had to take in consideration all those guys. Julius Erving won it last year, Big George in '73. This is the Sport Magazine.
Yes, and Artis will be able to go to the Plaza Hotel in New York, and he's going to have lunch, and then he's going to get to go choose an American Motors car of his choice. So I hope they make one large enough to put a man 7'2", 3 or 4, whatever it is.
I'll tell you what we'll do here. We'll get our commercial break out of the way. They'll be back here momentarily, cutting down nets and things of that. We'll put our final stats in there. We'll be back in just a minute. Well, this is the way they closed out the 1974-75 ABA season.
Yes, there's a three-pointer that's going to go up by Billy, and it's not going to be on the mark, and there's a mad scramble for the basketball. And as a lot of those scrambles, a lot of those rebounds, we lost it. Billy Knight's going to have a shot at it, and it's going to go, it's going to miss, and Gilmore's going to come down with one of the 30 rebounds that I have him for unofficially. What an evening.
There is Artis Gilmore right there. That's the big fella. David Vance, the assistant general manager, right behind him, bringing him back out.
What's he got on his hair? They've been throwing confetti or
I think that
rice
might
or...
be champagne.
Oh, okay.
Champagne does weird things to an afro. Here, let's see if we can pick up just a portion of this.
Tonight have proven to everybody in the world what we know in Kentucky, and that is in Kentucky basketball is number one.
Well, that is the old familiar cry of we're number one, and that's Artis Gilmore and the Browns out there, and they're a happy bunch, and they deserve it. They played an exceptional series to win it. Quickly in your scoring, the top scorer for Kentucky was Artis Gilmore with 28. McLean had 19. Issel had 16. Indiana was led by Billy Knight with 40. George McGinnis had 31. Kevin Joyce 16. 10 for Lenny Elmore. 4 for Billy Keller, and 2 each out of Roger Brown, out of Darnell Hillman. Indiana trailed most of the way by as many as 8, though at one stage in the second period they led by 4. It has been some kind of a terrific season, and as the celebration goes on here in Kentucky, Pacer folks back home, players, fans, front office people alike, have nothing whatsoever. I know it's tried, but nothing whatsoever to be ashamed of. It has been a phenomenal year, and boy, we can say nothing except thanks to them for a great, great season.
Yes, there's no question about it. We've said it all along that nobody at the beginning thought that we would be where we were. You know, you talk about tried statements. How about wait till the next year? We're going to get them then.
Well, there's always next year, and this was a ball club that is a very youthful ball club as Dave DeBuscher gets set to make the presentation of that beautiful gleaming trophy. We've got 3 of those. We've got the banners hanging high, and if we can't win it, well, I guess it's nice to keep it within the territorial rights, I suppose, of the Indiana Pacers. Our thanks to one of our sponsors, by the way, the good folks at Pabst, AMC Corporation, and Morris Plan. They've been with us all year long. Sponsorship-wise, we're much appreciative of that. The technical facilities for tonight's game were supplied by WHAS Television here in Louisville. Our executive producer was Don Tillman, produced tonight by Michael O'Rourke. Jerry Whitley was our director, and the assistant director was Harry Gundrum. Slow motion replay, Dick Blair and Jim Miller. Any reproduction of this telecast is strictly forbidden without the express written permission of the Indiana Pacers, who also have the approval of the announcers used in this telecast. This is Jerry Baker speaking for Phyllis Ackerman. Final again, 110-105. The Colonels win it. Congratulations on the ABA championship to Kentucky and the Pacer games next year once more on Channel 4. And so long for now.